Thank you all very much for coming. I see Chief Pubblemacher that was here. That's very special for you to come and participate in this and be a part of this promotional ceremony. Others from EMS that are here, former PFC member Amy Johanny, thank you for attending this special event. Much appreciated. And your time with the PFC was much appreciated as well. We're here today, and I'm not going to be the only one talking here. We have Deputy Chief Matt Leahy. Where did you go? Where did Matt go? Downstairs. We have Deputy Chief Matt Leahy here. We have Lieutenant Ed Hardwick and Lieutenant Andrew McCarthy that are present here today, and several members from City Hall, from PD, Fire, and other areas. Thank you very much for coming to this special moment. Some people say I walk too much when I'm talking, so they did this intentionally so that I stand behind here and don't walk away from the camera. So I guess I'll follow the rules and stand here for you today. Special moment today. Special moment for John Parker and the Fitchburg Police Department. And why is this so special? Because John Parker is going to be promoted to the rank of sergeant. What's so special about that? It's a promotion for him. It's more money for him, right? And the family's going to probably reap some of the benefits of the more money. But you know what you're really going to reap? More time from your father. More time that he's going to be spending at work. More commitment, more leadership responsibilities that we're going to require from him for the Fitchburg Police Organization. So why should you be happy about that? You should be very proud of that. Because with that added responsibility, the Fitchburg Police Department is instilling upon your father, your grandson, the responsibility to lead a department that is in great need of leadership and experience and commitment. Your father has not only served our country in the military, he's serving our community, your community, and law enforcement. It shows a sacrifice. It shows the willingness to serve others. As a child, everybody's giving you everything, and it's easy for us to grow in with a selfish type of mentality. But what we need today is selflessness, people that are going to give back. Now, the hardest thing about policing or an organization like a police department is that you can grow up in the department and go an easy route to the top. All you have to do is stay out of trouble, take your assignments, sometimes butter up to the bosses, let them know that you're there, be very smart book-wise, and you could take a promotional process. You might get promoted and work your way to run an organization. But does that really mean you know the job? Not necessarily. And then there's other types of leaders within the department that pick specialty units. They'll pick an area SRT, K-9, neighborhood resource officer, domestic violence units, and you do very well there. Or even, take a promotion detective. You can do very, very well there. And you get so much into your job. And now you get set into your hours. And now you have a family. And then you tell yourself, I don't need to go any further. I can stay right here because life is good. You end up growing to be a leader there because you know the job so well. But your skills are needed in other places. Many law enforcement agencies, many professional organizations need leadership that is well-rounded, leadership that has been in other areas of the department. So when you're thinking about expanding or reducing, or you're thinking about prioritization, you come with another set of experience, the different areas and how they operate. and what truly is needed for that organization, or what words you can tell them to keep them motivated, because you actually have walked the walk. John, you weren't really willing to take this promotion and hearing your interview, going through your interview process and talking to you. You were hesitant because you spent a lot of time working on getting Drago. And once you had Drago, everything, life is good. You got set into your hours, your training, you're leading that training, you're leading other people, you're responding to assignments where you are the most experienced officer, but yet you can control that. But the organization needs you in other areas. We as an organization need you to lead. Our experience levels in law enforcement, not just Fitchburg, are getting shorter and shorter and shorter. And this is the time when we need great leaders to build strong officers. So the Fitchburg Police Department is calling upon you to take on that task. And by you taking this oath today, you're promising that you're going to fulfill that task. We will help you, but we're going to rely on you. You said it once, you're going to say it today. And to the family, I thank you for allowing us to take your father, your grandson, and your husband from you to lead an organization that needs it. So, can you step up? We're going to take the oath with you. Let me see, I got to get this.
Please raise your right hand. I, please state your name,
I, Jonathan Parker,
who have been appointed to the office of Police Sergeant
who have been appointed to the office of Police Sergeant
in the city of Fitchburg, Dane County, Wisconsin,
in the city of Fitchburg, Dane County, Wisconsin,
swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the state of Wisconsin,
and the Constitution of the state of Wisconsin,
and will faithfully discharge the duties of said office
and will faithfully discharge the duties of said office
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my abilities.
Congratulations.
Two copies.
Okay, now we have the pinning.
Big moment. Don't stab me too hard. Don't bend over. I can't see it. Look up. Can't see it. Yeah, that's my skin. Yes, go ahead. So, just taking a note to do this off the cuff like the chief. So, interesting story. It was a year ago? About a year ago, we had our Wisconsin Law Enforcement Canine Handler Association conference actually here in Madison. And I asked Chief Morales to actually be our guest speaker. And he, during the speech that he gave, he started talking about some things that happened in Milwaukee and canines and different things. But one thing that he brought up right at the end, I don't know how to quote you, but I think it was, "You need to promote." He was talking to the canine community in general. A lot of times, us canine handlers, we get looked to as leaders when we're on scenes or when we're going to an incident, and people are looking for our insight on how to best handle the situation. A lot of times, through those experiences, we can become very good leaders in law enforcement. And I think the chief recognizes in canine handlers, and I appreciate that, through talking to the rest of the conferences, that, you know, as a younger officer, I got my canine position. I loved what I was doing. It was one of my favorite things to do. I get to continue it on for just a little bit, but he was recognizing that there's a leadership skill there, but a lot of us canine handlers love the job so much that we just don't want to stop being canine handlers. So he was trying to impress upon us that we need to promote. And when he said that, you had your glasses on at that point, and you had a side eye. You kind of looked over to me when I was sitting right next to him on the table and like, you know, what are you doing? So anyways, that's one of the things that, you know, has led me to the place I am right now. What has also led me to this place is my military service. I was the 101st Airborne. I did that for 4 years. And the chief talked about sacrifice, and my family, if you didn't know this, has gone through a lot of sacrifices in my life. And one of the sacrifices that my wife and my son had to go through was me being deployed for 1.5 years over in Iraq during the initial surge when I was in the military. Because you can imagine the heartbreak, the sorrow. I'm doing my job. I'm just going out there every day, doing my job. And I think the people that are left behind in all this, that aren't recognized as much as they should be, are the families of the people that are doing this job. Every one of these police officers here has a family member, has a significant other, has somebody that supports them. And it's so important to recognize them because they're the ones that are supporting the officer when they're at home. They're the ones supporting the officer when they're on their off duty. They're the ones supporting the officer as in their joy in life, right? This is not what defines me. My family defines me. But they give me that opportunity, that support to do what I do and love to do. And so I want to thank my wife, first of all. She's been my rock. And anyone that knows about Savannah, they know that she's a saint. And she lets me do whatever I love to do, whether it's snowmobiling, which I love doing, whether it's being a rodeo dad, which I love doing as well, whether it's being a canine handler, whether it's being somebody that comes in at all hours, as she's recognized or has happened in the past. It's just a phone call and I'm saying, babe, I'm on my way in. She's like, I'll figure out school. I'll figure out kids. I'll figure out whatever I have to do at home. So she's my rock, 100%. My kids are also just the best people in the world because when I'm having the worst day at work, all I have to do is come home and I see my son, my 2 daughters, or my youngest son, and I see their smiling faces, and it just lightens my heart back up. So they're my support system. So I love you guys. Thanks for supporting me. And do well at school this year. It's her first day at school, and they had to skip out. Another special story, just bring up real quick, is my grandpa passed away a few years ago. He was the one who put on my blue cord, and as an infantryman, the blue cord is signifying that you're in the infantry. And he couldn't be with us today. And he always called me Officer John on the phone. So every time I called him up, he'd be like, Officer John. And little known fact is that I have a very special relationship with my grandpa, but I also have a very, very special relationship with my grandmother. And she has 100% supported me. I know she prays for me every single day. And I also pray for you, Grandma. And she has supported me through these being a police officer and all the things that I have to go through. And it makes me feel very loved that, you know, you're a part of my life and you got to be here for this moment. I also want to especially, you know, thank my mom and dad, obviously. My mom and dad couldn't be here. My dad's having some medical issues right now, so he couldn't be here. But Dad, I'm praying for you. And I hope you get better soon. But I also want to thank them because they have also been a very big support system in my life. The last thing I want to mention is a lot of people in this room here that have also supported me through my law enforcement career. Lieutenant McCarthy has had many hours in the office talking to me about this position. So if there's one person that has led me to putting in for sergeant, it's going to be Lieutenant McCarthy. Lieutenant Hartwick has 100% been behind me since I became a K-9 handler. He was my original supervisor as a K-9 handler. He still supervises the K-9 unit. And he's absolutely been a great supporter of mine in what I've been doing in the department. Deputy Chief Leahy, did he make it up here yet? Oh, there he is. He was my first sergeant. He had to deal with young John Parker. And young John Parker was not easy to deal with. And then 100% my fellow patrol officers. I've enjoyed every minute being on the streets with you guys, being in the grind every day. We have some great police officers here in Fitchburg, and I'm looking forward to the future because we have a great team that's going to be built. So I'm here to let you know I'm going to be here to support you in any way I can. If you need anything from me, I'm here. And I'm hoping we are going to go forward in a positive direction as a police department. That's all I got to say, Chief. Is that too long-winded?
Not at all.
All right.
Thank you. Deputy Chief Leahy, you mind saying a few words?
Well, John took all the time up that we were going to have for this room, so I thank everybody for. I'm just kidding.
You gotta stand here, Matt.
Oh, do I have to?
Yep.
Because of those are the rules. Beyond what John had to say, you give Parker a microphone and he's going to talk for hours, so we should have probably recognized that one. But thank you for yet the next progression of your career at the police department, and you are correct that the young John Parker was difficult to handle, but hopefully you don't have to deal with any young John Parkers in your future. But thank you to the family, and I look forward to seeing your progression.
So a lot's been said, everything's been true. I'm going to kind of cut this short also because I still need your head to fit to that door when we're done here. But this is an exciting time for everybody. This is an exciting time for you, obviously, your family was able to come here today. Sorry about the first day of school. But in a time in policing, in our department specifically, with staffing the way that it is, the demands only increase. And I have developed personally from you over the years starting on. You have more seniority than me, I think by 3 or 4 years. So you have a great ability to lead up just as much as you are to lead down or even side to side at a peer level. As an instructor, as a canine handler, you've shown many of these great strengths. And right now with our patrol force being routinely younger and younger, it seems to be with the current state of things, someone who has the ability to impress upon them the positive things in law enforcement. You have one of the best positive attitudes within the department that I know of, and that carries a lot of weight. If you look behind you, you've got the service, teamwork, accountability, and respect. These are the values that we try to instill in everybody. And I think having an attitude such as yours, you have shown time and time again with discussions with others how you relate to these values and how important they are for us as an organization and us as an individual officer. So having watched you come up as a great player on the field, I'm super excited to see you here more as a coach. You bring a lot of credibility, a lot of promise, and I'm just glad to have you on the team, bud. Thanks.
John, I actually enjoyed working with you before you were a K-9 handler, just to correct the record there. But as a K-9 unit supervisor, a lot of people comment on the success of our K-9 unit and attribute that to K-9 Drago, and well, they're pretty spot on with that. I also know that John stands behind the unit, and it's your dedication, your passion, your attention to detail that have made you two so successful to the point that you've been noticed around the state. And you really have become a leader in the K-9 community, both locally and throughout Wisconsin, and that is incredibly impressive. And I really admire your dedication and passion that you brought to the K-9 world, and I look forward to that same dedication and passion being instrumental in leading our police department. Thanks,
Thanks,
John.
Dan.
Thank you. This ends our promotional ceremony. We are going to stick around here, or I'm not going to stick around. Sergeant John Parker will be sticking around for anyone who wants to take photos or congratulate him personally. Again, thank you all for attending, and may God bless you.